Okay, thank you both for making the time to attend this facilitation induction, and thank you. Hold on, I'm just getting an urgent call. Okay, so sorry about that. Right. Okay. Nice to see you, Tabile. Maybe what we can do before we get started is just introduce everyone in the room so that we get to know each other a little bit better. So I'm sure you're used to seeing Aditi and maybe Tanganani because you've been speaking with her via email. But my name is Atubele for full, but you can call me Atu. And I'm a project manager here at WomInge. I've been with WomInge for about 1 year and 2 months now. And this will be my second tech camp that I am running. The first one I did was in October last year. So we're really excited to have this second phase in partnership with the US consulate and also with Motorola Solutions. Great. So Mr. I speak about my background, maybe to get to know each other a bit better, we can speak about our background and maybe where we're located right now. So I'm not an engineer, but I am a quantity surveyor by profession, and I live in Douglasdale, so I'm based in Johannesburg right now. Cool. Maybe we can hear from Retabile. You can go next. You're on mute, Retabile.
Hi, Atu and Ray. My name is Retabile and I am currently doing my 3rd year in mining engineering at the University of Johannesburg. So I'm based in Johannesburg, but I'm a student. So I just wanted to try out something new this year and come volunteer and just, be with people, learn more, get inspired, and also inspire others because I'm passionate about youth and I'm passionate about problems that affect youth. And I've also started working on my nonprofit, which I registered last year, which aims to solve the problem of youth unemployment by basically equipping youth with the skills to shift their mindset from being job seekers to being job creators. So I'm also sort of in that space also. So I feel like it's also going to help myself to sort of come up with something that's going to help me create a job for myself and also create a job for other people. But in the process, I have to teach myself specific skills that could enable me to be able to provide that for other people. So I'm basically working on the structuring and the framework of the nonprofit and the business plan. So basically that's what I'll be doing this year. And yeah, I also love science. I love technology. I love solving problems. So I guess it's one of the reasons why I also applied for WomInge. And also I'm passionate about women and women empowerment, since I'm also part of women. So I'd also want to empower myself, obviously. So I'd like to meet people who are empowered, women who are empowered, who can also shed the light, empower me, inspire me. So I feel like that is why I joined. And yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with Tabile. You are a 1 Million Girls in STEM ambassador, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you become an ambassador?
I applied last year. And yeah, so from last year, I think I had my first interview with Aditi in September.
Okay. So have
Yeah.
you run a GirlEng program yet?
I haven't run any yet, but I plan to do one sometime this year, hopefully.
Okay, amazing. So this is going to be a great opportunity to test that out before you go out and do it on your own. Thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing. Maybe Ray can speak. I see she's unmuted. It is Ray Tumetse, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is it fine that I don't have my video on?
That's fine.
Okay. So I'm Ritumitse Motsatse. I'm based in Sandton, but currently I'm in the Free State due to various reasons. I have 2-year experience in microbiology. I'm studying microbiology, but I realized that it wasn't my passion. So this year I am transitioning into computer science. So this year I'm basically just doing courses and will be going back into uni next year. I am also part of an organization called Girl Power South Africa. It aims to empower women. And in Girl Power, I am more passionate about science-related topics and raising awareness on, science-related things and health as well. What else am I supposed to say?
I think you covered it all.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. It's really lovely to meet both of you. And I love that you're part of Girl Power Itumitse, because actually we are bringing some girls through Girl Power for Group 1. So they have about 15 girls that they've pulled and they're bringing, and they're coming for that session. So that's exciting.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you both so much. We will get into the content. I wanted to just show you high level what the program design is for the 4 days that will be with the learners. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So for Group 1, I do believe, so Retumete is Group 1, Group 2 is Retabile, right? Those were your available dates. Just like a thumbs up or something to acknowledge that that's correct.
Yes.
Someone contacted me and said that they would like me to be part of the group on the 29th, and I agreed to that.
Was that me or Tanganani?
Let me just check.
It was me. Okay.
Okay, the person didn't introduce themselves.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, it was you. It was you.
Sorry about that. Are you able to come for Group 1?
No, I won't be able to come for Group 1.
So only Group 2. Okay. And Retabile, you can only come for Group 2, right?
Yeah, on the 1st of April, the whole day from 8 until 4.
Okay, no problem. I will just adjust that then. That means Nombelo must do this one. I think that works out then. Okay, cool. So it more or less is the same. It's just a different group of girls. So imagine your name is still here, right, Tumetsi? So where we really need facilitators is on day 1. So day 1 will be a welcome and just kind of introducing the next 4 days to the students. And then we're going to have the Launchpad workshop, which I'm hoping you're familiar with, but we'll go through it as well, which is where we do the hard hat activity with the girls. And they're able to kind of brand their own hard hats and put stickers on them. We give them the material to play with that. And then they present it at the end of the workshop. And that's what I really would love you guys to engage with them on. Then at 10:45, we have a bit of a tea break. And then at 11:15, we're going to talk about understanding your community and your role, just introducing the innovation challenge that's going to be running for the next 4 days. So how the innovation challenge works is that we put the girls into groups, so they form teams. And usually we select the teams because we know the girls will gravitate to people that they know. And this is kind of simulating what it's going to be like in real life, where you know you can't really choose who you work with. So they will be put in teams of 5 and be given the task of identifying a problem within their community that they would like to solve, and then working through that for the next 4 days to think of a solution to the problem using the Sustainable Development Goals, right? And we're introducing an element of AI as well. So the solution that they produce must be an engineering solution and have AI incorporated in it. So those slides are the ones we will go through. So that's the understanding your community and your role. And then the ideation session, which is really fun because we get to, it's like an activity that we do with the girls so that they can start thinking about what the problems they want to solve are within their community. So that's the morning part. And then in the afternoon, I will take over and introduce the challenge, which is going to be the golden thread throughout the 4 days. So it's I've broken it up this way because just so that there's consistency for the girls throughout the days, but also giving you the opportunity to have that real engagement time with them and to be able to understand the content that's going to be shared, because that's stuff you will use for your workshops as a 1 Million Girls in STEM ambassador going forward as well. So after the Technovation challenge is introduced, they're split into the groups in the afternoon, and then they start thinking about their problem. Yeah. So that's day 1. Day 2, we have a coding workshop that's happening in the morning, and that's going to be facilitated by Ping Lady, which is an organization we've partnered with, and they do coding and robotics for disadvantaged communities and young girls. And so they're going to be running with that throughout that morning. And mine is just to come and introduce them, and they and their team work with them throughout that time. And then the volunteers that are present at that time also assist the girls with whatever they may need from a WomEng team perspective. But this is mostly run by Saisen Kunda and her team. Then after lunch, so we always have a tea break on each day, and then we also have a lunch on each day, which you will also be a part of both. That has been catered for you as well. And then after the lunch, we have the flash mentoring session. So we have some volunteers coming in to engage with the girls in a kind of flash mentoring kind of way, where there will be one mentor for 5 girls, and then we'll rotate every 10 minutes, just so that the girls are able to interact with as many engineers, scientists, tech professionals as possible. And that's like a really great way for them to see, to kind of imagine themselves in that position too. Then in the afternoon, we have the Technovation challenge work time, which is again going back to the challenge that this will be running throughout the 4 days. And they get to engage with their teams, think about the problem once again, have and start thinking about like the ideas that they want to solve that, working with one another to decide what the best idea is, and then creating a prototype that they can present on day 4. So what's going to happen is on the last day, there will be a pitch. I'll go through it now, but all the learners will pitch in their groups their idea. And you see a lot of people get quite nervous. They get quite nervous, but you know, at the end of the day, they're really proud of themselves for the work that they put in to get this idea together. And then we have judges who are going to be there who will then help select the winning team. And we have a prize for the winning team. So that's the remainder of day 2 is the challenge work time, and then the day ends. And then day 4, Sison and her team come back, but this time they focusing more on robotics. So they bring actual robots that the girls get to play with, and they get to tell the robot to go forward, go backward. It's a really fun time for them because they've already coded on day 1 and they can use the coding expertise to do the robotics on day 2. And again, that's run by the external team that's coming in. And the afternoon, it'll be the challenge work time. So as you can see, there isn't much facilitation on day 2 and 3. That's why none of your names are on the side. On day 4, which is the final day, that's where we're going to have the pitch off challenge. Sorry, Demetra, you're welcome to come every single day if you're able to. As for facilitation, it will really just be day 1 and day 4. And like I said, on day 4, we will welcome the girls in. We ask them to come a bit earlier as well so that they can finalize their prototype, their pitch, before they pitch off at 10 o'clock. So each team will then present their idea to the judges, and that is facilitated by the facilitator yourself. And then the judges go away to deliberate. And while the judges are doing that, then we have a speaker come in to talk about engineering life and coping with the pressures of being an engineer. So just a woman, a professional engineer who can kind of speak and add guidance in terms of career preparation for the girls and the challenges that they may actually face along the way. Then we will have a lunch break. And then we have another speaker who comes in the afternoon who just talks about digital safety, because we are adding an element of cybersecurity to the theme that we want to tackle this year: mental wellness, digital wellness, all of those things. And so we have a team, actually Bata is a team member at WOMING, and she's going to do a presentation on that. And when we did it last year, it was really impactful for the girls. Yeah, and then after that, we announce the winners. Actually, you can do this part. We can announce the winners and then we give them their certificates. So everyone gets a certificate of participation, and then the winners get an extra certificate for winning the challenge. And then they get prizes as well. And then the rest of the afternoon is basically just feedback so that we can always report this back to our partners and talk about what is the impact that we made on these girls' lives, and then feedback for ourselves to know how we can make the program better going forward as well. And then we end off by just talking about your journey with women. So I'm sure you've seen the pipeline. I hope you've seen it anyway, the pipeline that we have at Women. So we tackle young girls, and then we also deal with university students. And then once they move on, we are supporting them as industry professionals, and then also support the women founders within the space. So we make sure that we're supporting everyone across the whole pipeline. So the journey with the girls does not just stop here with this GirlEng program, but they may be girls who can apply for fellowship when they're in university, and then we can continue building that community with them from start to finish. Right, and then I just put here social media highlights. So Tanganani, who is part of the community team, she'll be doing the social media for that 4 days that the girls are around, just so that we can show the work that we're doing online. So she may reach out to you and ask you to just say a few words. Please do feel comfortable to engage with her. And also, if you're not comfortable engaging with her, you're maybe not a social media person, that's also fine. But just so you have some oversight of what will be happening over the next 4 days. Are there any questions before I go through the presentation?
I wanted to ask you about so when I actually volunteered to come for the camp, there was something about transportation. So would there be someone who could, for example, on my side, I would need assistance with transport to get there?
Oh, absolutely. So we do provide transport support for volunteers and for the girls, but because of the way that we report on our accounting, it needs to be in the form of a reimbursement. So if you are able to come to the camp, then we can reimburse you once you arrive. We can't make any payments directly beforehand. I hope that makes sense.
So it means that I'd have to take an Uber to get there.
Where are you based right now?
I'm based in DFC.
I don't know where that
Donfontein.
is that in like Rudaport
It's in-
side?
No, it's in Johannesburg.
Johannesburg Central.
Yes.
So what are other volunteers that have done that live in Bram? Or within that area, they normally take a Gau train and then take an Uber from Sandton because that's a bit cheaper rather than taking an Uber directly.
So I think if you were to take a Gauteng, you need a card for like a card. I don't know, but I'll do a bit of research. Yeah.
Okay. You can just WhatsApp me if you have any challenges. And there are other volunteers coming on that day, so you could always pool and come together.
Yeah. Okay. I think that will work better. You'll just give me the contact information, then I could reach out to one of them, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make a note of that.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Any questions?
Would you be able to send us this, the information that you have here?
Yes, everything we talk about now, I'll send it to you via email.
All right, perfect.
So you have access to it. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Cool. So we'll move on. We don't have much time. I'm just weary. So this is the PowerPoint presentation for day one, which is the big kind of facilitation day. Everything else doesn't really need a presentation because it's just a picture of, I just want to confirm that before. Yeah, okay, so day one. Okay, so this is how we start. We've got the slide playing. So just as when you came in, I was playing music. It's going to be, we like to create that sort of energy and vibe. So the girls also feel comfortable. So we'll be playing music at the beginning. And then, just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm in a co-working space, so people keep coming in, which is the way that it is. Okay, so we just welcome the girls at the beginning, and this is just to show who the Women's Project team is, the main team members. And then here we also like to introduce the volunteers. So since you will be facilitating, could I ask that I get a picture just so I can include you on this slide? Yeah, because with the volunteers, they're more in and out, but you're going to be a staple for the girls. I think Rachel might say if you can send me just a picture.
Okay, will do.
Okay, awesome. Then I can include you to the slide. And so when I do the introductions, the girls will know you right off the bat. And then we also like to introduce the volunteers that are there for the day, that the girls know who they can contact or reach out to if they need anything. So here, this is actually all me. I'm just going to talk about the mission for the session for the next 4 days. So just an introduction, and then just some housekeeping rules, sanitizers, where they can find the toilets, how that we must be respectful of each other's spaces. And when somebody's speaking at the front, they really should pay attention, you know, but that also we want them to have fun. It's not like a school venue, but we do want there to be some order. And then just some COVID regulations that we need to share so that everybody's aware that we are going to be social distancing and that they need to have their mask on at all times, just to make sure that we're all keeping safe. And then here's some safe space rules. I can see my screen is not moving. Okay, some safe space rules. Like I said, fun is strictly advised, and that the girls must just feel free to engage in that session. And then again, this is still me. So what is introducing women to the girls, because some of them maybe aren't familiar with what we do. And this is the pipeline that I mentioned to you earlier about like Launchpad, the workshops that we do for the girl child, and then GirlEng, which is where they are, circles, which are campus-based fellowship communities at universities, and then fellowship, which is the actual program that we run for university girls, and then engineering professionals and founders. Okay. Then I just introduced the program high level to them so that they know what's happening. And then over here, I would hand over to you. So actually, let me do it like this. So this will be the icebreaker section. I think I have these slides and I will share them with you. If you would like us to do a different type of icebreaker that maybe you've seen girls really enjoy, then I'm comfortable for you to do that, to run with it. It is very much co-creating here what we do, but we just do, the point of the icebreaker is to get everyone comfortable. Because one thing that we noticed is when the girls come in, because they don't all know each other, they'll just like sit at their tables really quietly and not really engage. So the whole point of the icebreaker is to show them that they can have fun, that they can share, that they can be vocal, have opinions, trying to build their confidence through it. And also just, yeah, they must just have a good time, right? So you can go through these icebreakers. So we just ask them, which month are you in right now? And then they can tell us like how they're feeling, where they're at. I just saw something in the chat. I'll send you my picture today. Thank you, Ratavile. And then we just ask them, are you a morning person or a night person? Just to open up the floor. And then what song are you listening to? And this is a good way that we can get songs that they actually are listening to and start playing them for the next 4 days. Yeah, I think music really brings us together. And then if you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be? But again, you can change these depending on your personality and just making it your own, really. Okay, so this should say, I'm going to change this heading. It shouldn't say launching your dreams, but this is the section that we go into for the workshop. Launching your dreams, Launchpad workshop, I guess. So this will be the hard hat activity. Okay. All right, so the mission for the Launchpad workshop, or just the workshops in general, is to learn about the future of work, because we are going to be introducing them to the different types of like futuristic thinking. And then step 2 is to meet our engineers. And then step 3 is launching your dreams, which is part of the Launchpad workshop. So we play this video here. Let me just see if it works. Let me know if you can hear. Can you hear the sound?
Yes, the sound is there.
Okay. Yes, okay. So we play that video for them.
That was a nice video.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope the girls do too. But it's just a way to open up their minds about the future, right? Like we said, we're going to focus on the future of work. We want them to think futuristically. And from what we know, engineers are the ones who are most capable to actually give us this future that, or help us to live in the future that we've seen. And 2028 is not far. It's literally 6 years from now. So this can be a time, it is 6 years from now. Yes. So what you can do is also engage with the girls after the video and ask them, you know, what's something shocking that they didn't know about, or what's something new that they learned, or what's something that they're excited about from what they saw in the video. That way, like asking questions also helps them to engage. And I know all about the engagement. So here we start to introduce what engineers are to them. And engineers are futurists, strategists, artists, a mixture of artists, scientists, and psychics. And they plan horizons for 50 to 100 years time. So engineers really are building the future. So we can show the different types of ways in which engineering is going, the different directions in which engineering is going, and 3D printing. So this house, I will get the time for you, but I think it was built in 48 hours because of 3D printing. And I mean, how long does it normally take to build a normal brick and mortar house? Months, right? Yeah, so this is also just to open the girls up to see, like, actually we can be more efficient if we start thinking futuristically. And then we can discuss emerging technologies like new transportation systems. We can even talk about Tesla and the electric cars that are coming in. So all of the different ways in which we're trying to make our lives easier. And then it's also a bit of old technology, but I don't think we have it here in South Africa. So some girls will really be excited by this. So this is a mirror that okay, it's in a store and it's a mirror, and you basically decide what you want to buy, and it shows you what it looks like on your body. So you can see this lady in the red outfit. She wants to buy this outfit on the right, and this mirror or camera is showing her what it will look like before she even buys it.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Right? So this kind of technology where it's making life a lot easier for us because you don't have to go into changing rooms. I mean, the lines at Mr. Price where you have to wait for 30 minutes to get in. So here you can even make a little joke like that. But again, just making our lives easier, right? And then artificial intelligence, which we will be touching on as well in a different presentation. But artificial intelligence, I know we think of robots, but what we want to debunk is that artificial intelligence, it's already here. We already use it on our phones every day. Maps uses AI, right? To show us where we are. And also Uber, all of these different apps that we use have leveraged AI in a way that makes life more efficient and effective for us. So we also want the girls to start thinking in that way. One thing I noticed is that they get really stuck, and maybe you can touch on this, is that they get really stuck in the innovation challenge by thinking about things that are already here and thinking about physical things instead of just creating an app or thinking about creating an app that can help make things better. A lot of them want to build like drainage systems, which already exist and are not future thinking at all. But instead of using things that we actually do know and are aware of, like apps. So biotechnology, Ritamitsu, maybe you can speak to this because I know you said you're in the bio space, the bioscience space. So you can speak about emerging technologies within the biotechnology space, even just like vaccinations. I don't know if this would be very a dramatic topic to bring up, but the vaccine that's been created for COVID to protect us, that's using biotechnology, right?
Yes.
And then we have data mining, which is scary sometimes, you know, with the Facebook thing that happened, but also that's really the way in which a lot of organizations are working, and data is becoming such a commodity. And that's also an emerging technology that we see. And then smart cities, which are all like connected through the internet. So smart health, I think a great example would be Discovery. They literally are doing all of these things. Smart health, smart banking. With Discovery and Vitality, I know that if you go to their specific partners, then you get more points, and then you can use your points to buy other things. So everything is just kind of interconnected, and it monitors your health through what you buy, say at Pick and Pay, and everything is within one kind of cloud. So stuff like that. And mining, you know, mining. I don't know why mining is on here, but you can talk about mining and engineering cities on other planets. So you can talk about the fact that there is, and I can send you this information as well, there is a young lady who is right now being prepared to go to Mars, to be the first person on Mars. I'm not sure what her name is, but yeah, she's being trained by NASA and she's quite young. And she's had to like give up hopes of having a family and all those other things so that she can be prepared to go to Mars and be the first person on there. So that's
a big sacrifice.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure you can even ask the girls, is this something you would do? You know, would you give that up to be the first person to pioneer this? So it's quite interesting.
It's engaging. Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. So here, and I'll need to update this because it's 2022 now. But the top skills that I needed in 2022, according to the World Economic Forum, it's analytical thinking and innovation. It's active learning and learning strategies, creativity, technology design and programming, critical thinking, complex problem solving, leadership, and social influence. We see this on social media, emotional intelligence, reasoning, and systems thinking. So it's no longer just technical abilities that are needed, as we've seen in the last 50 years, but actually a very holistic individual who is future thinking, is innovative, has creativity, all of those things. And actually, that's where the future of jobs are. And from my understanding and from what I've seen as well, is that engineers have these skills, or STEM industries, they harness these skills very much. So that's what the girls need to start thinking about as they're also going into applying for university and applying for tertiary education. What kind of degree do they want to pursue that will enable them to have all of these skills so that when they graduate, they do have a job in line. My screen is doing something funny, so sorry about that. No. I don't know what's happening. Sorry. Okay, I got it. Oh, technology is not with me today. Okay, so this is another video. I'm just conscious of time, so I'll ask that you watch this video when I send you the link. It is quite a big file. So So just be wary of that. And then, yeah, so basically the future needs you is what we're trying to tell the girls, that the future needs you and that they can be excited about where the future is going. Okay, so this is the Launchpad workshop section. Here we can touch on 1 million girls in STEM, and what the whole purpose is to reach 1 million girls through STEM education and awareness initiatives globally. And according to this map, you can see where we've completed programs and where we have upcoming programs. And you can just let the girls know that they are also part of this 1 million that are being reached through this campaign, and that we want to change the face of science, tech, engineering, and mathematics, and that they are going to be the new face, right? So 1 million pink hard hats. The way that the tables are going to be set up, we're going to have the hard hats right on the table for the girls to see. So these are all the places that we've had workshops. For example, this is the bottom corner. Those are our two co-founders. That's Nadia Musaji and Hema Valab. And over here at the bottom corner, that's them in Canada. This is with the Canadian president. I forget his name, but these are all very different places that we've run this program and run the workshop at all across the world. I think some of these are in South Africa as well. So what problem do you want to solve in your community, country, or the world? And here you can have a discussion. You can take a few moments to ask the girls to think about this. We're going to have pens and like sticky notes on the table so that they can write down what they're thinking as well. And then maybe you can ask them to share just to see what they're thinking about. They always have very interesting problems they want to show. Okay, no problem. Thanks, Ritabile. Noted. And then we speak about core values. So they're going to get these stickers, and these are the stickers you see here. I'm not sure if there were in some of these, but yeah, we give them these stickers and we ask them to just choose 4 stickers that really speak to their core values, and they can stick it on their hard hat. What I'll also do is I'll put notes within the presentation, so when you look through it, you know exactly what you need to say. Definitely want you to be prepared and not feel overwhelmed by this in any way. And also feel free to call me or text me on WhatsApp.
Okay.
And then what we do is we ask the girls, after they've done that, they can share why those are their core values. You can see they're all very positive. So just interesting to get them to start thinking about what their values are and what they want their brand to be. So what do they want to be known for? What is your brand? And then we show them different brands. So you ask them, what is this brand, right? And okay, you can see the presentation, but right off the bat, I'm sure you know it's Nike, right? Because of the tick.
Yeah.
This one, you ask them, so what brand is that? And then they'll say Apple. This one, you ask them what brand is that, and they'll say Nando's, right? This one, they'll say Dove, and that one immediately you see this and you think Coca-Cola. So what makes a brand great? And then you can ask them to share why they think a brand, or what makes a brand stand out. They'll probably say quality or authenticity or honesty or just really great posts. And then you can move on to ask them if they think that people can also be brands, because we've shown them like products, right? And then ask them to raise their hand, see who thinks that people can be brands, and ask them to share about that. You may get yeses, you may get nos, they don't think so. And then you can start showing them similar to this, who's that? So you ask them, who's that on the screen? Everyone will say Nelson Mandela. What is his brand? Or what does he stand for, right? And then you get to hear the different things. Maybe some people will say freedom, they'll say dignity, whatever they want to share. And then you show them this one. I hope they know who Oprah is. And then they can give you what they think her brand is. And then this is Kylie Jenner. And I'm sure they know who this is, I hope.
Yeah.
and then they can share what they think her brand is. I don't know if any one of you know Malala Yousafzai.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yes, I
Oh,
do know
great.
her.
Okay. You'll be shocked. Some people might know, some people might not know. Maybe do some research on this just in case you need to share. But Malala is an activist. She was shot, I can't remember how many times, 10 times, I think, for fighting for girls' rights to go to school. And she survived,
Oh.
basically. She survived, and right now she is a full-on activist and lives in the States and is studying at one of the high universities there. But she's really inspirational in that she stood up for what she believed in a country that doesn't, actually, where the law is against the girl child. So her story is really, really inspiring. And then obviously
Yeah, that's very brave.
And then Lasizwe, I'm hoping they know who this is. And then they can say what his brand is. And then we have Zozi here. And then they can say what her brand is too. This may be too long, you could always skip. And then lastly, we have Donald Trump, just to show that sometimes brands can be negative. They don't have to be, you don't just have a one positive brand. Maybe I should put Kanye West.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I was doing this presentation the other day and I told my coworker, let me put Jacob Zuma, but I thought it'd be too dramatic. You may just have a relative in the room. Like, what do you say?
Yeah, it's risky.
Very risky. So yeah, we just keep it at Donald Trump. I think we can all agree that that's not a great brand.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we ask them, what's their brand? What's your superpower? What do you do better than yourself? I mean, than anyone else? What do people frequently praise you for? What would you use to describe yourself? And what energizes or ignites you? And then they can write this stuff on their hard hat. So we give them time, like working time, to write it on their hard hat. We'll play some music while this is happening, and then you can come back to asking them to share. So you can call up whoever feels comfortable, or you can pick on somebody that you can see is eager to share, and they come up to the front and they explain. Another thing we have on the stickers is the SDGs as well. So they can pick four, I think that's way too many, four. I want to say 3 SDGs that they stand for or that they're passionate about. So maybe it's equality, maybe it's water and sanitation, maybe it's education, and they can also speak to that. So all of those things, just getting them to think about who they are, get more comfortable in what they believe in. Yeah, what's their brand, basically. And I think that would be the end. This would be the next part. Understanding your community and your role. Oh, this is a really fun video. I'll play this one for you guys because it's just fun. So sorry about that. I saw I got kicked out. I don't know how much you were able to see.
We'll watch it on our own.
Okay, cool. It's a really
Yeah.
fun video though. Yeah, but all right, okay. And then the next part, so then I think after that we go for a tea break. Yes, after the workshop, we go for tea. And then we come back and we do this understanding your community and your role. I'm just conscious of time. What can we do? Can I just have another meeting I need to jump off of, but we're not done. So what's the best thing we can do? It's just these slides over here up to this point here. Can I send you
So
a
maybe we can
recording,
schedule another.
or do you
Oh,
want to do
yes,
it
yeah,
live?
that works. I think a recording will work better.
Okay, let me do that. It would just be this section. So what I'll do is, oops.